Wahoo Dory, Wahoo Dory, welcome Christmas. That is the saddest version of that I think I've ever heard. It's the Friday BeerBuzz, yay, that's good. Friday BeerBuzz Holiday Pageant of the Airwaves, Part 4. We're in the home stretch here, coming around the far turn. And Lindo Sabatini in the studio, of course. Our special FBI. I haven't even been drinking all the beers here. That's the hard part. The Friday BeerBuzz alumni guest of the week is D. Joe Thomas is here. Our special, he's our government representative, ladies and gentlemen.
I knew they would
yeah, I know.
infiltrate us.
There's no explanation for this. By the way, all the Belgian beers that we had so far today, I didn't have a Belgian hat, but I did have this beret, so I thought that was close.
Oui.
Do I look good? Do you want to go check the video out at WILKnewsradio.com or mybeerbuzz.com? And here's Bill from BeerBuzz.
You are so cool.
I really am. mybeerbuzz.com. Bill, I'm going to start drinking. You go right ahead.
For segment number 4, we will be doing.
Kato, I'm in the room with the phone.
Do
Isn't
not,
that cat?
Kato, do not attack me. I am injured.
What the heck?
Kato, do not attack me.
This is definitely the pageant of the airwaves taking place here today, ladies and gentlemen.
You can tell it suddenly degrades by segment 4.
Right. I'm telling you.
You know, we thought with segment 4, a fitting punctuation point would be to do 3 different beers.
3 different beers. Da, da, da.
2 turtle
We got carried away again.
But we want to start off with a question, and I think we have an expert in the room to answer the question. And I get asked this a lot with aspiring homebrewers and people that want to, take it to the next level. How hard is it to start a brewery?
Oh, to start a brewery?
Yeah.
And to answer that question.
And we have. Yeah.
And we'll have the answer right after this.
And we have Benny here. Ben, I know with Marty's Blue Room you started on a small system. And now you have the brewery has opened. When did the first thought come into your head about I'm going to open this full-on brewery?
Probably about 3 or 4 years ago, we decided to do this. It's been a process through that. But anything you could imagine, traps and pitfalls and everything else that could possibly happens when you're trying to do something on this scale.
So from the time you actually start and say, okay, it's go time. We're going to do it. We're going to start a brewery. We're going to, hit up the suppliers, hit up the banks. How long ago was that from opening, which was just recently?
3 years ago.
So 3-year process to do that. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of dotting I's and crossing T's. I know when I was down there was a hang up with PennDOT.
I was going to say that it's LCB regulations and red tape and all that, but also PennDOT was a factor for you.
Yeah, the process started back 3 years ago. You can go to the banks, get the business plans, do everything like that, get everything set up to make sure it's feasible to do it. After that, find the property.
Yeah.
Find commercial property. So now you're not making, you're not doing just a regular restaurant, you're manufacturing, so you have to be zoned properly for that. So you find the proper zoning, find the proper areas, buildings, buy a building, tear a building down, put a new building up, the construction process, bids for all the construction, and going through all that with contractors and finding ways to make things work simpler, engineers, meetings after meetings with engineers.
And then equipment, and then supplies, and then canning line, and
flying all over the country, looking at brewing equipment, talking to other breweries,
and even just as you're talking about it now, it sounds complicated. But you're talking about meetings where you have to sit down and go, I need a building that has so many square feet. Here's the kind of plumbing that I'm going to need because this is what I'm going to need in that room, and all this other stuff, all the infrastructure of the building itself. Then you have to have somebody actually draw up the building, and it's got to be endless meeting after meeting.
Yeah, the building started off at about 2,000 square feet, and then it went to 3,000, 4,000. Yeah. Now it's at 6,000 square feet right now, and it fits.
Nice.
But
so tell everybody where it is first off.
It's located on 1429 Sansui Parkway in Hanover Township.
And it is a full-on brewery. You can fill growlers there. You can buy beer in pints. You can get food there. There's outdoor space with picnic tables and hop vine. There's a Cajun microwave outside, which is a big smoker barbecue pit. There's some really, really unique setups for, I know you can flavor your own soda, and you're going to be doing a lot more of these one-off firkins as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're doing the restaurant itself. It seats 90 people inside. We have a 60-seat beer garden patio in the back with a smoker on the patio, so you can see all the food and everything being cooked when you're in the restaurant. It's an open view kitchen, and the backdrop behind the bar is a 10-barrel steam-fired brew house and all the tanks to make all the beer. So when you come in, you get something to eat, you get a couple beers. We have 8 TVs. You can watch your food being prepared. You can watch your beer being made.
And it's a really, really cool setup. It's made with all reclaimed pallets, so it really has that industrial, rustic, modern...
Rustic industrial, yeah.
Techno that I really, really like. And you have a canning line.
Right.
So you're going to be canning beers as well.
Yes, we're doing 12-ounce cans. You can come into the restaurant side of the brewery. You can come in and buy a single can. You can buy a 6-pack or a 12-pack to go. You can get growlers filled to go, have pints of beer. Or if you can come over to the brewery side, we do halves, sixtels, and cases on the brewery side as well.
And what was opening date?
Opening date was December 6th.
Nice. Well, we have 3 in front of us here, so we should start talking about them. The first one is Dunkel. Tell us first about the style of the beer, and we'll talk a little bit about the name.
Dunkel is a German-style dark lager. The beer itself is like a nice mahogany color. Hold up to the light, you get like a chestnut brown kind of color to it.
And there's applause coming from this corner of the room already over here.
They love this.
It really is excellent.
Thank you, guys. It's a darker beer, but a lot of people I always caution and think, oh, it's darker. It's going to be real heavy. It's going to be this big, like, rich beer. It's not. It's a beer. It's 5% alcohol. It's got nuances of white bread toast. It's got a little like mild coffee kind of notes to it, and like dark chocolate kind of flavors. But it's light. You can drink a few of these. You know, it's great for Christmas Eve dinner. It's great for any kind of poultry. It's really good with.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to order cases on the air?
Sure.
Yeah, and this is we're looking at 12-ounce cans and a Dunkel Dark Lager, and the can designs are really, really pretty. I don't know who's doing the artwork, but the can designs look great. Very, very eye-catching.
Becky's a huge fan here, so
huge fan. Like, here's my little applause.
Yeah, right?
Thank you.
I just gave it like
that really is good.
4.7 on Untapped.
Thank you.
It is truly an exceptional. Like, don't walk, run to try this beer, everyone, before it's gone, because it's great.
So I want to hug you.
So get down to, and I assume
give you a big hug.
At the brewery you can try this on tap as well. So you can have a pint of this if you want as you sit in the brewery.
Yeah, you can get it by the pint at the brewery. You can take growlers, or you can get 6-packs to go, or 12 packs if you'd like.
A really nice beer, and the first lager I think we have ever featured on the Christmas special.
Oh yeah.
And
again,
lager I've ever liked.
And it's a yeast thing. I mean, we know with lager it's fermented at a little bit colder temperatures, and it's fermented in a little bit different way. So it makes for a different beer and different flavor profile.
Really is delicious.
And harder to do. A lager's traditionally harder to do than an ale.
Yeah, it's a cold fermented beer. They take a little bit more finesse with the yeast strains to make sure they're nice and healthy to give you that bright kind of flavor and crisp flavor that you would get from a lager.
One of the things I love with Benny has the process down. We've talked about this in your previous appearances. He has the process down. So the consistency in Benny's beers are 100%, which is unusual in a small brewery. He nails them every time. They come out the same every time. So if you love one of his beers and you go down and have it, it will be the same every time, which is, I think, rare in the craft beer world.
Yeah, it's nice sometimes when last week we did another batch of the Hoppenstein, which I went over to the tap, I poured a pint of beer from the tap, and I poured a pint off of the bright tank before it was packaged, and you taste them, and it's so identical. It's so very, very close from one batch to another.
And that's hard to do, and it's a 10-barrel system?
Right.
So you're doing 300 gallons-ish at a time.
Right, every time, right.
So nailing that spot on is not easy to do. We have 3 here. We have a second one. The second one is in a growler, fresh off the tap. You could not get this beer any fresher. Tell us about this beer, because it's a Baltic Porter, one of my favorite styles.
This beer right now is, born on date is now. It's about I pulled it off the bright tank. It's about an hour old right now.
Wow.
So this is about the freshest beer you're ever going to get.
This is
This is a Baltic Porter, but with a little twist. I added buckwheat honey. Buckwheat honey is a real dark, like almost jet black colored honey that gives you smoky kind of notes from the honey.
And it's got that sweet, dull honey flavor that I like a lot. And a Baltic Porter, I mean, tell us what the Baltic portion, because people are familiar with that porter, but tell us what the Baltic portion of that means.
The Baltic Porter comes from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Originally. It was brewed originally by the Baltic Sea. So the Baltic Porter is just like a really rich version of a regular porter. So you kind of get the sweet notes. You get a little bit of fig and date.
Yeah, and it's more robust.
Right, exactly.
So what's ABV here?
ABV on this is 8.5.
Yeah, so there's your traditional porter is in the 4-5% ABV kind of range. A Baltic usually implies sort of a double or an imperial. And in this case, it's big. It's 8% ABV.
So without a lot of work, you could turn this into fireworks, if I'm not mistaken.
You could, yes.
The thing that I would urge most people with this beer is that even though it's really fresh right now, it doesn't really come into its own for probably 6 months. So I recommend anybody who does stop in the brewery or gets it at Sabatini's. Are we doing an order over the air here?
I'll say yes for that.
You guys are doing business on the radio here.
I recommend aging this beer.
Yeah,
I have versions of this that are upwards of 3 years old, and it really pulls on the velvety kind of smoothness, and it really changes over that amount of time. So if you get it, drink some cans of it now, buy it this year, keep some of it on the side. Next year when it comes back out again, try it compared to
side by side.
Yeah, side by side. I would really recommend doing that. It really comes up and better on its own.
Really creamy mouthfeel, and we have a third one here, and the third one is part of the One and Done series, and that means essentially you brew them one time and then they're done.
That's it.
We have your fourth release, which is your One and Done double IPA.
It's a double IPA.
A really, really nice beer.
This smells like a dream come true.
This one's
I'm telling you.
This one's also 8% ABV.
I'm crying like a baby over
our
here.
first hoppy beer. Tell us about. We're getting tight on time, but tell us about One and Done double.
This is one and Done series is an ever evolving series. So this happens to be number 4 right now. This is the double IPA experiment. It's loaded full of Columbus hops, Citra, Simcoe. It's also got some Sriracha Ace in it. It's dry hopped like 5 different times throughout the process. It's just got a
big and bright,
big giant bright nose of all kind of tropical fruit flavors.
Resinous, citrusy, grapefruity. This beer is
175 IBUs on this.
Oh.
So there's your number. What does everybody think?
I feel like I'm going to
by
faint.
applause.
Oh, okay, yeah, Becky's got the vapors.
The smell is outstanding.
It really is.
Really nice. Get these while you can because they're one and they're done.
Outstanding. Ben, outstanding job. It's always a pleasure to have you here. The 3 beers were just wonderful. We want to thank you for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Is there any more of the double IPA left, too? I'm wondering about that. We're heading for the home stretch here. I want to thank, of course, Lindo Sabatini today and every day for sponsoring the Friday Beer Buzz. Lindo, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you.
Absolutely love it. Thank you.
All right. To our Friday Beer Buzz special alumni guest, the Joe Thomas, ladies and gentlemen.
love you, Joe.
Thank you for being
Thanks
here.
for having me.
We miss you, Joe.
Outstanding job. The Friday Beer Buzz studio audience, of course, Becky Kosadar-Krantz, the most highly decorated female brewer in all of Mayfield, ladies and gentlemen. Becky, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Amanda Sheptak is here. She's our electrical engineer, Amanda. Way to go. My lovely wife, Karen, is here. Nancy and I are here as well. Bill from mybeerbuzz.com. Bill, without you, there's no show. Obviously, you do all the legwork and all the heavy lifting.
Thank you. It's a labor of love. I love doing it. It's so much fun.
Thank you.
Now, just so everybody knows, on the way out, after we do our sponsor tag and such, we are going to carol the Hark the Herald, okay, everybody?
Oh, Hark the Herald.
But we
all
can't
right.
forget Carol.
The WILK. The lovely Carol Zubra is our Director of Special Operations. All right, very
And
good.
the Friday Beer Buzz, as always, powered by Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar in Exeter. Absolutely the best. One of the area's greatest selections of rare craft and imported beers. Growlers and Crowlers, a hand pump, and 36 rotating drafts at Sabatini's Pizza and Sabatini's Bottle Shop and Bar, Wyoming Avenue in Exeter.
This is the holiday pageant of the airwaves 2016 edition of the Friday Beer Buzz, bringing good beers and good people together. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to... I think I'm in the key of L right now, but... I'll hand out the lyrics next year. Reconcile. Way to go there.
We're dying.
The newborn king.
You blockheads.
Outstanding. Very good.